This clip is brought to you by 8 Sleep Mattresses, the temperature-controlled Tesla of beds that automates your sleep. Sleep better and enjoy this clip. You just give him 4 Curcumin tablets. There's probably no fucking calories in there.
Yeah, which is, I mean, this stuff has changed my life.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, so Mr. North America, 1992, Franco Cavallari, one of the smartest guys I know. Also, one of the most talented bodybuilders I've ever seen, and he's a scientist. He's a PhD. So he had ulcerative colitis. He was a year before the 92 Mr. America IFBB, which he won as a middleweight overall. And so he went in and he had this pain. He went to the hospital. He had ulcerative colitis, and they wanted to remove his colon, all this stuff. And he's like, wait a second here. You know, he'd been doing the science and the research. He'd been doing this while he was doing his science degree. So he had tested and documented himself, and he had found that he'd been using this form, curcumin back then. And when he used it, he didn't have the pain. When he didn't, he did. So he went on this long study of why sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So long story short is he found that the third curcuminoid, and we have a podcast that you can go watch. Maybe we can put it in the show notes. Super powerful. He talks about how curcumin has 3 curcuminoids, and the third one is the one that actually has the inflammatory relief for the connective tissue, which is basically fascia. So what happens is that if you go get normal curcumin, it's standardized curcumin, it's at 95%. That's what you see everywhere. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because standardized at 95% doesn't mean it has the active ingredient in it, because that active ingredient is at, I think, 1%. So sometimes it could be, sometimes it's not. So that's why it's inconsistent. This is what with the supplement industry, that's what I see the problem is, there's inconsistency. So anyways, what they do is what I call a new kind of pharmacology. They extract the third curcuminoid and they put it back in the natural source. So it has an ORAC rating. It's not the best way to do it, but just to give it a scale, like a normal curcumin has an ORAC rating of 9,500. This is 500,000. And it's patented, tested by science, approved by Health Canada, which is our FDA. And we just, at a higher dose, it just got approved for a COVID treatment at a super high dose. And
so could you just mention how that works? Because like when you say approved for COVID treatment, what does that mean?
It's an inflammatory disease that's pulmonary. So basically it attacks the lungs, it's inflammation. So the lungs, it's inside, it's all connective tissue. So we are fascia. So anyways, the details and the product for the COVID stuff will be out shortly, but I can talk about it now. It's not my company, but so we've licensed the patent. We tested it out on the MLB, NBA, and NHL players, and then on about 6,000 clients. We tested it for years before we were ready to say this is what we believe. What we saw is we saw results. First of all, it's the best recovery tool in the world because it calms the body, but it doesn't take you completely out. Like it takes out the stress because it moves all the inflammatory markers around every nerve, every tendon, the brain, and everything else. And the way it does is it goes into the cell and it turns a heat shock protein called MSK1. When it does that, it instantaneously decompresses the whole body. So you take it, and it's one of those supplements that you can feel in 30 minutes. It feels like a drug. And so we brought this out. We tested it. This is what I believe was the transition point for me, because after that is when my body started becoming looser, and that's when I discovered all this new fascial work. So we have this product. It's Power Curc 30. And we use this since all of our programs are free. This is one of the ways we fund ourselves. And it works. There you can go. There's all kinds of testimonials on any kind of autoimmune disease, any kind of cancer, anything that's inflammatory. It works on. It has a proven result, scientifically proven.
Real quick question. You mentioned cancer. I know that some people are going to be, what the fuck, you just said cancer. So what do you mean by that?
I mean cancer.
But how?
Well, cancer is an inflammatory disease. If you take stress out and remove inflammation, the body can heal itself better. I'm not saying it cures cancer.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying it works with and for. It's like anything else. There is no such thing as a cure. The body is the cure. We either give the body the tools to make that cure happen, or we don't give it the tools and it doesn't happen. It's a binary thing. The body either knows how to fix itself, and we think we know, but we don't. We're learning every day. So this is one of the products. that we use is super powerful, and it's what it works really well with is any like anxiety, depression, anything. Those are all inflammatory based disease processes. And again, you could two things. We have the scientific papers approved by our FDA, which is Health Canada. It's even stronger than the FDA in the States. It's harder to get through. And we have a podcast where you can go learn about it. I'm not a scientist. I'm just repeating his stuff. I just use this stuff, and it works incredible. And has virtually no contraindication. Give it to pregnant. It's approved for pregnant women, children.
Yeah.
So it works all around. And
we're trying it out right now, so we'll report back and give more information because we're on like day 2 or 3, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And I did have a question for you. Do you notice more of a difference or reports back? Do certain individuals who maybe they're more wound up, they're not generally as present, they're more typically stressed, do they report back feeling it more than those who are typically more relaxed in general? Because the reason I ask you that is because like
you're calm.
I felt it. It felt like, honestly, it felt like a small microdose of shrooms. Small microdose.
Yeah.
When I say,
so what other vitamin have you ever taken that felt like a small microdose of shrooms?
None. And that's a really cool thing. But then I'm wondering, okay, what does someone who's really stressed and tightly wound?
Massive,
how do they
massive. So we have people that, I wish I had a photo of my dad. I gave it to him. He was dealing with cancer and colon cancer. And I took a picture from 1 hour apart when I first gave it to him. Mm-hmm. And you can viscerally see the difference in the skin and behavior. And again, I instead of me telling you all the stuff, there are literally thousands of testimonials in our program, and it's people telling their own stories. Don't believe me? Go look with other people. They've posted pictures. They've talked about results. We've had doctors that are posting results. We've had paramedics posting results. We've had professional athletes. And and again, it was used. We had this NSF certified originally. It's anti-doping, all that stuff. I have some pro athletes that I currently work with and mentor and work with, including Odin. Odin is one of my favorite guys. He's new in the NHL. Odin Tufto, he plays for the Lightning. He just says it's saving his life.
Okay, and that's really cool. But I do also this is just my personal viewpoint on subs. It's a really good supplement, and I'm gonna take it consistently. But people listening in, don't start. I think the stronger thing that we talk about here is the fascial maneuvers that you guys do on a daily basis.
This is to assist. And personally, my philosophy is I do not believe in long-term supplementation at all. This is a tool. Like you put aspirin in your shelf, you have it there. You're going to use it sometimes, you're not going to use it. Okay, if somebody is if you're taking supplements every day, that means your body's not getting what it needs from food or lifestyle, and that means you need to change your food or your lifestyle. So supplements, and I don't take these every day. Sometimes I take them, sometimes I don't. If I'm going to go and go for 4 hours of real massive climbing and then diving and stuff like that, I'm going to take it. Here's an example. This is self-reported again. This is 40 or 50 years of psoriasis on the left, really bad all over body. That's 7 days later. And by the way, this isn't one-offs. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these testimonials. Now, there's another thing that we've noticed here, and a lot of people are having injuries and a lot of, first of all, it's just stress, anxiety, depression, and then they're getting a lot of mechanical injuries in their body. What we've noticed is that we started noticing injury profiles going up very, very high, insane. And so we started looking for reasons why they were happening. And we'd started sending out hair follicle testing on about 1,000 clients at the garage. And what we found is they had elevated levels of barium, strontium, and aluminum in their hair. Mm-hmm. Now, you're not going to necessarily test it out in your blood right away because the blood's a regulator, but hair follicle testing, they can tell you if you've had a drug like 20 years ago.
Wow. I
mean, it's pretty insane. I may be exaggerating, but basically it tells you everything that's in there. So when we saw this, we were trying to figure out why. Well, what we know is that we have geoengineering right now where we're putting to control weather or whatever they're doing. I don't care.
Did you say, what did you say, engineering?
Geoengineering.
Geo, okay.
I thought he was.
Good.
Okay.
And then it was like a negative connotation.
Geoengineering. I'm like, whoa, where'd we go here, bro? Geoengineering. All right, let's go.
So
Power Project family, I hope you enjoyed this clip. We are on Discord and Reddit. We're trying to talk to you guys and build a community down there. So the links are in the bio. But remember, like, comment, subscribe, share this out with people so you can share the wealth of health. As cheesy as that fucking sounds. Peace.